On today's show,
Phil Jackson has advice for LeBron James on how to beat the Warriors. Just play like Michael Jordan.
Trey Kirby is in Cleveland to give us the latest on Kevin Love and why the Cavs are confident back home.
And Warriors fans teach Lily some cool new handshakes.
It's Tuesday, June 7th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, sweet world, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast or joining us live on NBA TV or a little bit later on YouTube, we're happy to have all of you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tess Millis.
Thank you for joining us.
To his right, it's the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lele.
Of course, Starters blog editor Trey Kirby in Cleveland, but we're going to talk to TK a little bit later in the show. And seeing as TK is not around, I have taken on the responsibility of rounding up some recent finals headlines. I'm going to pitch them to you guys, and collectively, we're going to determine whether or not they're actually news.
Okay.
This is what happens when there's a big break between games 2 and 3 of the NBA Finals. All right, so first one, it comes from the New York Daily News. It reads, Phil Jackson believes LeBron James must go to the next level for Cavaliers to win the NBA Finals. Is this news?
It's not news.
No?
LeBron James has to play better. I think we all know that. And I don't think that just means scoring the basketball. He has to make the right play. If Golden State is going to switch, look for the advantages as a monstrous man. And just get ready to lock in. Just don't turn the ball over. Make the smart play. Don't call for a defensive switch when you know it's just going to cost you 2 points in the middle of a play. Play better. The Warriors are going to switch, going underneath screens. You got Leandro Barbosa, go right by him. He just has to be a leader. And I don't think that necessarily means more scoring because he needs more from the supporting cast. Richard Jefferson had a 12-point game. Tristan Thompson had a 10-point game. Outside the big three, those are the only double-digit performances they've gotten. So I think he just has to lead and let everything else kind of flow off of him. He doesn't need to score 45.
What do you think?
Is there another level for him, though? He's basically averaging a triple-double, not shooting the ball all that well, but if he sacrifices some of what he's giving to his team by scoring more, does that really just move the problem around? I think this is more about his teammates they have to increase their work rate. LeBron's doing everything for them defensively, and then on offense, when he's not scoring the ball, if he's not shooting, he's trying to outmuscle these guys, but he's getting Klay Thompson, then he's getting Andre Iguodala, he's getting met at the rim by people. Physically, he's being drained. I don't know if he can actually do more than what he's trying to do so far.
I think you just saw some mistakes. You saw 11 turnovers over the last 2 games. You saw mental mistakes.
But that's because I believe he's taking on so much anyway. He's got the ball in his hand. He's trying to make every decision for his team, and their defense has been phenomenal on him. Every time he goes into the paint, you see multiple guys coming for him. He's having trouble holding onto the ball. So I think a lot of the credit actually goes to the Warriors' defense.
Phil Jackson, where this quote is coming from, he's talking at some sort of press, Shaq's on stage with him, he's telling this story, and he actually started comparing LeBron here to what happened when he was the coach of the Bulls with Michael Jordan, of course, back in the 93 Eastern Conference Finals. The Bulls and Jordan, they were down 2 games to the Knicks. And then a story came out from the New York Times. Is this news from the New York Times? An article negatively reporting on Jordan's off-day trip to the Atlantic City casino. And that really, says Phil, really got under Jordan's skin. He went out and took out his revenge on the poor Knicks and won 4 straight and put up huge numbers. But I'm with you guys. You can't compare these because here's what I say to this. This is weird. He did this last year. LeBron did this, his best Jordan impersonation, whatever you want to call it, in last year's finals. 36, 14, and 8. I guess that's like an Oscar Robertson-like performance there.
Yeah.
That's what he averaged in last year's finals. He didn't win the finals by doing that. He shot 196 times in 6 games. That's very Jordan-like as well. It didn't work. You gotta play as a team.
Yeah, last year was about LeBron shooting a lot. This year it's supposed to be a little bit more about his team. And I like what you brought up about the Warriors' defense because they don't get enough credit so far in these first 2 games. And that's exactly what the Warriors want. They want LeBron to shoot. They don't want him to get everyone involved.
Sure.
And they're switching. I just think he has to take advantage of the switches. When he's got a smaller guy on him, you've got that frame to take advantage. Don't turn it over and mentally lock in defensively. I think he can take it to another level. His team just hasn't played their best. Well, and he just has to be a leader.
If he does want to imitate what Jordan did, he should get to the free throw line because he's only been there 8 times so far in this series. The average is nearly 7 a game per regular season. Michael Jordan went to the line 49 times over those last 4 games.
All right, next one here, guys, comes from USA Today. It reads, Cavs counting on home court to fuel NBA Finals revival. Is this news?
This is news because this is real. Home court advantage is real. And I think we forget quickly, the Cavs were ahead in the second quarter in game 2. They're ahead in the third quarter in game one. And a crowd can lift you at the end of a quarter to take care of business. They can lift you to closing out defensive rotations. We're just seeing bad defense, bad rotations, not playing for 24 seconds. And I think a home court advantage, those fans can help you get there, get you to the shot clock, get you those extra 50-50 balls when you're tired. As you see here, the Warriors won all those. Home court can just get you the belief that you can win. And the Cavs haven't gotten that yet. And maybe they get it at home.
The Warriors believe they can win there. They've won the last 3 trips to Cleveland, going back to the finals last year in the regular season here, where they won by an absolute bomb. So
34 points
34
on Christmas.
points. Yeah. So no, that was actually just
Sorry,
after
just
Christmas.
after
Yeah.
Christmas.
But the thing is, J.R. Smith is the guy who really does need to perform, because at home he actually plays fewer minutes, but he produces so much more. Shoots the ball more, shoots the ball better, and we saw in the first round of the playoffs and all the previous rounds of the playoffs, he just shoots better. He looks like a different guy out there, and that's going back again to that first question. He needs to produce.
Does it really matter, though? The Dubs have beat them 7 straight times.
Yeah.
You just said it, Lee. They've proven that they can win there in the finals last year, of course, in the regular season. Does it matter what actual arena they're playing in, or do they just, at this point, with the lineups they have and the matchups they have the Cavs number? We're going to find out tomorrow night. The game isn't on tonight. It's tomorrow night. But anyway, next headline here. Stick with USA Today. This one, a perfect example, I believe, of the off time we have. USA Today, it reads, Michael Thompson says the Warriors would beat the Showtime Lakers. He agrees with his son, guys. Is this news?
This is news.
It is news.
Now, he was very close to both teams. Obviously, a player on the 87-88 Lakers and the father of Klay Thompson. So he knows both teams very closely. So he's in a strong position to comment. Also, for a veteran player...
Is he right, Lee?
I believe he is right, yes. I believe
You believe
so.
the Warriors,
Yes.
today's Warriors, would beat the Showtime Lakers?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on exactly which Lakers team you're picking. If you're going for the, say, 84-85 Lakers when Kareem was closer to his
peak.
best,
Yeah.
I think so. But if you're going later, 87-88 when Kareem was 40,
Right.
then I think it does favour the Warriors. But again, Magic and James Worthy and Byron Scott, they were all in their prime towards the late 80s there as well. So it would have been a tough test. But I got some matchups here. I think Andre Iguodala on Magic's a great matchup defensively. Steph then is on Byron Scott. I think he can keep up with Byron Scott, and then on offense he can beat Byron. Draymond and AC Green, the two bangers.
Yep.
Clay on James
Well,
Worthy.
AC Green wasn't much of a banger. What?
Clay on James Worthy.
Yeah.
I think even though James Worthy may have an offensive advantage, so does
Sure.
Clay going back the other way. And then Andrew Bogut on Kareem. Again, if Kareem's older, he's not quite as effective as he was in the early 80s. So I say the Warriors today beat the 88 Lakers 4-2.
Right.
Well, this is news because finally...
He's really broke it down.
Yeah, this is news because finally an older player actually declares
Yeah.
that the current team would
Yeah.
beat an older team. This feels like the first time, right?
Yeah.
And it is a player from that era, and you know, if you listen to this entire interview, he says, "Hey, I understand that athletes get better, things evolve," and he says he doesn't have SOMS, which stands for stubborn old man syndrome, which, you know, he declares that others have had as they have proclaimed their own teams to be better than this team.
Yeah, here's how they match up. We're picking 3 years from each of these teams. So the 86-88 Lakers, and you got the 14-16 Warriors here, showing the win percentage, points per game differential. Yeah, Michael Thompson points out that the two biggest reasons why he goes with his son's team, Klay Thompson's team, is they play great team defense.
Yeah.
And he says, quote, it was as good as ours was. So he points that out.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the three-point shooting. He says,
Yeah.
you know, we shot 8 a game, three-pointers. They shoot 8 a quarter.
Yeah.
So that's going to be trouble. That's going to be trouble. But you said they have a lot of good defenders on the
Mm-hmm.
Showtime Lakers and Coop and Byron Scott. I
Yeah.
mean, once they see a couple of those threes go down, they're going to get out there and take that away from them, I would imagine.
And a lot of length with those defenders, which
Sure.
is key. We watched OKC basically beat the Warriors. I mean, really,
Well, they beat
really
them
close.
basically everywhere other than the three-point shooting, which is again goes back to that point.
You know
Michael
who?
Thompson.
You know who disagrees with Michael Thompson? Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson was tweeting today, guys. He said, "I disagree with Michael Thompson, and his son Klay. My Showtime Lakers would beat the Warriors."
I like how you put Showtime in quotation.
Hey, I tend to agree with him. I mean, they did what? Go to 8 finals
9.
appearances in the decade.
yeah,
in
sorry.
the decade.
Oh yeah.
And
I
won
love
5
these.
of them.
Love these talks. Just
All right.
love them.
Final headline here. It's a weird one from For the Win. LeBron James gave his Cavaliers teammates personalized life-size shields. Is this news?
If they win, it would be news.
Yeah.
Because it would be a huge story. the Boston Celtics, they played under the mantra of Ubuntu in 2008. How many times did we say the word Ubuntu on this show? I can't count that high. I mean, we said it so many times. It would be news. If they lose, not so much.
Yeah, I would think after they win the championship or get close to it, he wants to sort of celebrate something. But in the playoffs, a little bit weird for me.
It was actually
right before the finals.
Sure.
I mean, it was to rally the team around the idea that we're in this together.
I don't think we've seen a photo yet of
No.
one of these shields, which is disappointing. But
We won't if they lose.
this headline could also just read, like, rich man buys other rich man cool thing. Because that's what LeBron tends to do with his teammates.
Was it cool?
He's a great teammate.
You're claiming that it's cool.
Hey, I would love a shield.
Yeah, let's get one in here.
I bought a tiny shield from medieval times, and it's one of my most prized possessions. All right, we gotta take a break. When we come back, the bearded one, Trey Kirby, joins us live from Cleveland to give us the latest scoop on Kevin Love.
Game 3 of the NBA Finals goes at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC Wednesday night. We're a little over 26 hours from tip. To give us the latest, a man who touched down in the land less than 26 hours ago. This is Kirby Rocks Cleveland. Hey, what's up, Shades? Hey-yo! Hey-yo! First question, what's going on there?
Just wearing the traditional finals glasses as Lee introduced to us during the last game. It's our new thing.
You're looking great, man.
Yeah, I thought you'd like it, Lee.
Well, it has become clear that people recognize Trey Kirby. You had Dwayne Wade shouting across the Miami Heat locker room, "Hey, Taco!" You had James Harden calling you Little Beard. And now Cavs head coach Tyronn Lue recognized you already, sort of.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Really great start. Saw Ty Lue as one of the first people I saw. We said hi, and then from behind me I heard, "Hey, I know you." So I turned around thinking, wow, that's cool. The Cavs must watch the starters. And then he continued, "Yeah, I saw you in that AI doc last night. Russ Bankson, right?" And, the resemblance is pretty strong. I've always considered myself kind of a Russ Bankson sequel, so I was flattered. And I thought it was kind of cool to hear that Ty Lue was watching the AI doc, considering their history.
Yeah, thanks for the ratings on NBA TV, Coach Lue.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Whenever I've been at an NBA practice, there's always some messing around with some guys behind the scenes. Is there anything sort of lighthearted to report from practices today?
Well, I had a front row seat for a one-on-one game between Kyrie Irving and Cavs assistant coach James Posey, and it was just awesome to watch a couple of guys going at it. James Posey still playing hard. The way this game worked was anytime Kyrie wouldn't score, Posey got a point. Anytime Kyrie did score, he got his points. Kyrie won the first game on a big-time comeback. He was down 4-0, ended up winning 5-4. Got down big time in the second game, too, but couldn't pull it off. And James Posey got the win in Game 2. They went on to a Game 3. Kyrie settled for jumpers. And, I'm starting to think a team might want to give James Posey a look. The guy hasn't played since 2011, but he's still got it defensively.
If Doc Rivers is watching this show, might sign his old player. Hey, he was a championship-type player, that's for sure. Kevin Love is a huge issue for the Cavs. The Cavs just listed him as questionable because of the concussion in Game 2. What's the latest you're hearing there?
Yeah, he was in the building. He didn't practice, though. The NBA excused him from all of his media obligations. And like you're saying, the team has listed him as questionable for Game 3. There are rumors that he's optimistic to play for Game 3. And Tristan Thompson said that he thinks Kevin Love looks good for what it's worth. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see Kevin Love out there for Game 3. That being said, he's still in the concussion protocol, still has a lot of tests he's got to pass before he's allowed to play. But things are pointing towards the direction of him being able to make it back for Game 3.
All right, most of the players did media today. Was there a central theme amongst them?
I'd say the central theme is the switch to Cleveland, obviously. The Cavs are super excited to be home. They are undefeated at home in the playoffs. And more than one of them brought up the Raptors series, how Cleveland defended home court, but then Toronto did the exact same thing. And that's what Cleveland's hoping to do here. They're pretty confident that they're going to do it too. A bunch of the players brought up how the threes tend to drop at home. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them letting them fly tomorrow night. As for the Warriors, they're confident that they can get one here on the road. Draymond Green mentioned how they've won a road game in every series they've played so far. And that's what they're trying to do here in Cleveland, just trying to get a split, take it back to Oakland for Game 5 and try and finish things out there. But like I said, the Cavs are super confident that they're going to be able to keep their undefeated streak going.
All right, we know you're working on some videos, working extremely, extremely hard. What are we going to see from Trey Kirby on the starters tomorrow?
Well, I had a chance to talk to Richard Jefferson today about Snapchat, and he gave me the inside scoop on LeBron's weirdo pregame routine. Not too long ago, you snapped LeBron taking a nap in what seemed to be like a Batman-esque hyperbaric chamber. Then you called him a weirdo. What is the story behind this chamber?
Well, there's a random chamber that we have, and you never know who's in it because they put a towel over it. And so I go and I look in it, and it was LeBron, but he was sleeping like he was like Count Dracula. And I was like, I always wondered how he did what he did. And so but most of the time we're just joking around, and it might be me that's behind the camera, but my teammates have embraced it, and I'm not the only one that's on Snapchat, but I'm probably the one that's a little bit. But that's probably the most silly on it. And me and Channing Frye, we have a good time on it. He's one of my good friends. And so me and him probably Snapchat the most.
You can see the whole interview on the show tomorrow, including why Channing Frye still uses Uber Pool despite being a 7-foot-tall millionaire, and why the Cavs don't need a microphone when they're doing karaoke. A lot of adult dance parties on this team.
All right, we're looking forward to that, and I just wanted to pass on one quick message before you go. The entire crew here thinks your beard has looked even better in Cleveland than it does here in the studio.
Hey, maybe the lesser humidity up here in the Midwest is really helping me out. Got a new beard comb today, feeling great. Tell him thank you very much.
That looks good, looks sharp.
All right, Trey, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Quick break here, but you will not want to miss this. Lee learns how to do cool guy handshakes in the Bay Area. You look so natural.
Welcome back to the show. Anyone who watches the starters knows that Lee here sometimes struggles with the art of handshakes. The releasing of the hand, the bro hugging or not bro hugging, just the timing of it at all in general. But we found out that you got some much needed help. Is this correct?
Yes, while in Oakland, I asked Warriors fans to help me out, and I think it went pretty well. I don't have any handshakes. Everyone in the NBA these days has a cool guy handshake. Do you think you could teach me one?
Yeah.
Start in, go the fingers, up, down, and then end with the W.
Oh, wow.
W for the Warriors.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be tricky, but I'll try.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can give you a simple one real quick. That'll be easy for you to remember. All right, we're going to go 2 slaps, then a high five, then bump elbows, okay?
You can go like this, when we win, and then chest. Oh.
Go. You gotta stretch. Ready to stretch? Okay. This. Chest pump. Yeah.
2 to the flat, 1 knuckle.
Starters, baby. Start leading.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it, man.
How are you, man?
So what we're going to start off is you're going to come in, you're going to come in like this, you're going to swoop in like that, you're going to come back out, you're going to swoop in again.
Right.
All right, how you feeling, Lily?
I think it speaks for itself, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I
you
think
feel
I
confident now?
mastered it. Yeah.
You have a little problem throwing up the dubs, eh?
Yeah, that was a little bit hard, but I figured it out. Yeah.
I don't know if you have yet.
Well, it's close enough.
Okay,
close
that's
enough.
close
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Do you have a personal
Yeah,
favorite?
right. So this is the one, Tass. Ready?
Okay.
You come in like this, back out, back out, and then wow!
Was that the one from the woman that looked like she could pick up a car and
Yes,
flip it
that's
around
exactly
her
her.
head? Okay,
Yeah, she was great.
Okay, well, great stuff.
Shout out to Warriors fans. They were awesome, actually, the whole time I was out there.
They were a blast. All right, good stuff, Lily, as always. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, though, we'll break down some NBA news and notes, non-finals related. So don't go anywhere. You watch the starters. Back with the starters, a few non-NBA Finals news and notes here from the association. First one, Thunder GM Sam Presti is confident that superstar Kevin Durant will re-sign with OKC this summer. We'll find out. Hornets guard Jeremy Lin has declined his $2.2 million option. He'll test the market this summer as an unrestricted free agent. And according to the Sporting News, the Timberwolves plan to target Bulls center Joakim Noah, who is also an unrestricted free agent. What do you think about that?
I'm pumped for this possibility, this remarriage of Tom Thibodeau, new Wolves head coach, and Joakim Noah. Because Joakim Noah wasn't himself last year. I want the energized, starting Joakim Noah back. And I think watching the Minnesota Timberwolves, they needed that second facilitator behind Ricky Rubio. And that's where Joakim would operate. And that's when he would get that energy back. I think he'd feel young again, playing with all those young kids in Minnesota would be very good for him.
I think playing with those young kids as well with a coach like Thibodeau would be fantastic for them to have Noah, who's experienced and who understands how Thibodeau works, because he'd almost be like an assistant coach in that role, because Thibodeau, you know, is not going to change his style. He's going to want guys to work very hard, play a ton of minutes, but that's how he is. And if you've got someone like Noah, he can actually help those younger guys understand just exactly how Tibbs ticks. So I think that would be a great signing for the Wolves.
Yeah, Noah really developed and thrived under Tibbs. Joakim Noah was fourth in MVP voting in 2013-14, which is easy to forget. So we'll see. Noah's going to hit the free agent market this summer, and we'll have free agent shows to talk about that. We don't have a fan sign Lee, but we do have a starters Lee Ellis birthday card here. This is from Dan Pegg. He made this customized Lee Ellis birthday card for his buddy Matt, who celebrated his birthday last week. Happy birthday, Matt. That's the front there. But when you open it up, there's a pic of you doing the Bazemore gaze, and it plays this audio clip.
Anything could still happen.
Anything could still happen. So great work from Dan. Again, happy birthday to Matt, and keep all that weird stuff like that coming in. No game on tonight. Game 3 tomorrow night. We will be back, of course, at 6:30 p.m. Eastern to get you all ready for that. We'll talk to Trey Kirby once again. Yeah, it'll be nice to have basketball back.
Yeah.
I mean, it is quite the break we have here, but Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern.
All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us today. And remember, in the NBA Finals, you never know what's coming up behind you.
Race the night, people.